For the first wine, I was going to be focusing more on kind of your childhood and your first kind of memories of wine. But before I get there, actually, I guess I can show you now the bottle. Actually, I know that the producer want me to. It's Kumeu River Pinot Gris 2020.
What has that got to do with my childhood?
Well, actually, that one really doesn't.
Thank you very much. My dad didn't know what Kumeu River was, didn't know what Pinot Gris was, virtually didn't know what wine was.
So, okay, this one isn't so much to do with your childhood, but it's kind of why you got into wine and kind of it's a sunny personality. Also, I wanted to have a wine which championed the fruit of the new world, which this one definitely does. You also are a champion of kind of underappreciated wine styles or grapes or regions. Everyone associates this winery, Kumeu River, in northern New Zealand with Chardonnay. And everyone generally tends to think of actually New Zealand with Sauvignon Blanc. But I actually think they do the wonderful aromatic grape Pinot Gris fantastically. So I thought that you'd approve of championing this underdog.
I think they do it just about better than anyone in the world, including most of northern Italy and most of Alsace. The Alsace Pinot Gris nowadays, you just think, I don't know what I'm getting. Is it going to be sweet? Is it going to be dry? Is it going to be fat? Is it going to be thin? I think that New Zealand, actually, because they understand pleasure, they understand fruit. It's difficult to make a wine in New Zealand without fruit.
Yeah.
One of the great problems they have is trying to make wine with less fruit. And of course, we're saying in Northern Europe, no, give us the fruit, give us the fruit. And they're trying to say, no, I'm trying to cut down on the fruit. I had too much fruit in this wine. And you're saying, no, please give us the fruit. Don't believe the wine critics. Don't believe the Australians who are all jealous of you. Just give us the fruit. And Pinot Gris is a classic example. The kind of Pinot Grigio you get from Northern Italy, you just think, I might as well drink tap water half the time.
Well, let's do a cheers.
Well, let's cheers to you. It's lovely to see you.
Lovely to see you too. I just thought it doesn't relate to childhood, but with the first wine, I wanted something which encapsulated your joy, your cheerleading abilities. A fantastic wine, and actually, the winemaker just won Winemaker of Winemakers last week.
You're repeating yourself.
Winemaker of Winemakers.
Shall I read it out?
I'm having a stroke. Yeah. No. His name, I can never pronounce it. Michael
Brajkovic.
Because he's Croatian.
I was with him in November.
No way.
Yeah.
Well, he just won Winemaker.
You just said it correctly. I was just giving you the chance to say it again so that you can then say, I got it right this time.
Thanks. That's what a real friend does.
No, I'm your supporter. I'm your friend.
Well, you're a cheerleader.
I'm trying to make you look as good as possible.
Thanks.
Cheers. Great, no spittoon.
Mm-hmm.
No spittoon.
No spittoon.
Excellent. It's absolutely bursting with fruit. You see, I would have thought first of the day, hey, that's got to be sweet. It's not. That is just that amazing flavour of sort of, it's not quite like fresh pears. It's like if you had, we did as kids, had conference pears, which don't taste it very much, but you take the skin off
and
then you, I don't know, boil them, stew them in a little bit of sugar water and maybe a slice of lemon. That's what my mum used to do. And probably like one clove one nail of clove or a tiny bit of nutmeg, probably one nail of clove. And it's still slightly crunchy and it's half peary. It's not massively peary, but this is this whole thing about wine tasting, that when I'm trying to teach people about wine tasting, try and make it personal. So as soon as I tasted that wine, it's not, it's quite peary, but it's going back to my mum's stewed pears when I was a kid. And so much of, you must find this, Amelia, that so many, when you're trying to talk about wine tasting, so much of what you go back to is what life was like when you were a kid, maybe what life was like when you were a teenager. By the time you get to an adult, you've smelt and tasted almost everything in your life. And the things that are going to make you, as a, 20, 40, 50, 60-year-old adult, say, that's a lovely flavour. It's going to be a memory, which is from when you were 6 or 10 or 14.
And actually, that's where you get a lot of your references to, because didn't you say that you're kind of your mother's little helper?
Again and again and again.